Meet JordanATime, my 199 at a time hardcore Ironman. My goal is to get 99 in every skill, without levelling up any others. As such, I cannot gain any experience in any skill which I am not currently training, or isn't already level 99. This means I am locked out of many quests as they give experience rewards or require me to kill monsters to complete them. I'm locked out of accessing certain parts of the map, and most importantly, I'm locked out of certain training methods. You join me on my journey as I reach the halfway point for my first 99, mining. And as much as I would love to be able to go to the blast mine for a change of scenery, I'm unable to go there due to the passive fire making XP I would get. I would also kill to be able to go to the Camtorum mine for the calcified rocks, but the Perilous Moon quest has multiple requirements which prevent me from doing so. These are some of the examples of the roadblocks to content I'll face along the way. So join me on this masochistic journey as I slowly gain access to every skill in RuneScape and get a max cape in the process. This account follows two simple rules. Number 1. If a skill has reached 99, I can gain experience in it whenever I like, but until my current skill is 99, I cannot gain experience in a new skill. But as I am currently training mining and I am not level 99 yet, I cannot gain experience in any other skill. Number 2. Hit points is excluded from Rule 1. Aside from a few quests and XP lamps, there is no way I could get 99 HP without training a combat skill. So, in an effort to save my sanity, hit points will be the only skill which gets trained outside of this account's main goal. As the account is already well on its way to the first 99, you're probably wondering, how did it get here? Well, as soon as I got off Tutorial Island, the first thing I did was the Rune Mysteries quest. It may seem like an odd first move when going for mining at the first 99, but this meant that I could start getting mining XP. Whilst most people would mine copper, tin or clay for their mining XP, I'm not the most people. I gained my first 20 levels mining rune essence. When I started the account, I thought I would do runecraft as my second skill, though that plan has changed. But getting 20 mining through rune essence means I have enough to get to 20 runecraft. This won't be useful for a while, but it will mean that I can get enough levels to do Guardians of the Rift when the time comes. Once I hit level 20, I got all the ores for Doric's quest and completed that, bumping me up to level 22. I also completed the Pirate's Treasure quest so that I get enough money to buy a steel pickaxe. Then I made my way to Rimington Mine, mining iron ore until level 30. From level 30 until 71 mining, I locked myself in the Motherlode mine, going until I had a full set of Prospector's outfit. I then moved to mining shooting stars, occasionally dipping into the Motherlode mine and the odd 30 minutes here and there of power mining iron ore in the mining guild to get to where I am now. And just before I reached 4 million XP, a rocky golem decided to grace me with its presence. I didn't expect to get any sort of skilling pet on this account, nor am I going to be going for them. But this was a nice sight. Shame Runelite's capture of the moment was awful. And between all of that, I did a handful of clue scrolls, with the only notable reward being a Jester Cape. And now, the biggest question. Why mining? Over the past 4 weeks, I've been asking myself the exact same question. Why on earth did I choose such a slow skill, which makes very little money, as my first skill? And what insanity had come over me when I thought I'd get 99 runecraft second? Unfortunately though, when training skills one at a time, you quickly realise how intertwined they are, and how many are locked out by you not being able to gain XP elsewhere. Whilst the skills tab may look like this to any other account, when you can only train skills one at a time, it actually looks more like this. But why? Why are so few skills available so early on? Let's have a look at them in order. Smithing requires us to have some way to get ores, or bars, to level up the skill. this would require getting the ores via mining or via monster drops. So smithing is locked behind mining or a combat skill. Technically we could hammer away at the water wheels in the Motherlode mine for XP, but to definitely be able to get to the centre, we would need to gain mining XP. Either that or hop worlds until we find someone breaking the rocks blocking the way. But it's still not a fun grind and wouldn't give us access to anything in the process, as we would have no way to make money or do anything with just 99 smithing. Next up, herblore. To get 99 we would need to get a lot of herbs. We could get these either from monster drops or farming, but without either of those we wouldn't have a fun time trying to find a way to 99 this. Ranged is an interesting one, and it definitely shouldn't be seen as impossible, because it isn't, but it will be a lot slower as you'll be limited on what weapons you have access to, and a lack of access to a dwarf multi-cannon. Whilst the latter is definitely optional, the former is a bigger issue. You may get lucky on your grind to 99 and get a magic shortbow from a hard clue crafts it, but being able to reliably get one via fletching is much more appealing to me. And as I do like to be able to AFK a bit and be a bit more laid back, having access to the cannon is also a must in my eyes. The ranged is blocked behind fletching and smithing. Cooking probably could be done without any prerequisites, but having a large stockpile of things to cook and not needing to worry about getting money to buy raw meats makes this a hard one to go after first. I am personally saying this is locked behind fishing, as that will give so much food to cook that it makes cooking worth training then. But you could also lock it behind a combat skill too, but if I'm going to be getting a ton of raw food from one skill, may as well put it to use in another. Prayer could be done without gaining combat XP, however, gathering bones in the wilderness sounds like a nightmare to me, especially as I would love to be able to keep my hardcore status before I get that max cape, so I'm going to save that one until I am getting drops from monsters. I don't think I need to explain why firemaking or fletching both require woodcutting. Training either without decent access to logs does not sound like a fun experience. Magic requires runes. Runes will either need to be crafted or bought from a shop. It doesn't really matter which way you look at it. You couldn't realistically train magic before you have a skill which makes you money or have runecraft. Runecraft requires rune or pure essence to turn into runes, which can either be mined or obtained from monster drops. At level 17 you have access to Guardians of the Rift, which will give mining and crafting experience. So if I wanted to craft runes the old-fashioned way, it is mining or combat which logs it out. But as I don't hate myself that much, it is locked behind mining and crafting. Slayer requires us to kill monsters, so I'm going to need at least one combat skill to be maxed out before I can do Slayer. But seeing as I absolutely loathe this skill, it will most likely be the last one which gets trained anyway. Farming will require a lot of seeds, and the best way of getting those will be pickpocketing master farmers, so thieving is an absolute must before we consider farming. And finally, construction. It's mainly gated by money, but when I was planning how I'd potentially do this, I was a little surprised to find it wasn't money which would be my biggest issue, but steel bars. If I want to do mahogany homes, I may need a steel bar, but despite that, getting logs en masse would also be beneficial. So this is also, slightly begrudgingly, locked behind woodcutting too. Though, if I am feeling a little crazy, I could skip the woodcutting grind for this. So this leaves us with the following skills which can safely and easily be attempted after the mining grind. Attack, strength, defense, agility, smithing, fishing, thieving, crafting, and woodcutting. So, what is next? I've basically been locked to Mistel and Asgarnia, with the odd boat ride to Catherby so far. I don't really have a reliable way around the map yet, as charter ships cost a lot more money than I can make, and I don't have access to any teleports yet. And seeing as magic is locked behind runecraft or a combat skill, and runecraft is locked behind crafting, it would make sense for me to go for one of those. And crafting just makes the most sense to me. The crafting cape will give me access to a teleport, not the most useful one in the world, but a teleport nonetheless. Plus it will give me access to the crafting guild's bank chest, which will be a huge help for the early construction and runecraft levels. Leveling either attack, strength or defense would give me access to a much wider variety of options going forward, as I would have access to runes, raw food, seeds, logs, metal bars and herbs. But I would also only be training one of those. 99 strength with less accuracy than when I played darts doesn't sound appealing. 99 attack with a max hit of an inflatable hammer seems pointless, and 99 defense, but not being able to fight back seems like a waste of time. I'm sure going for either of those are the smarter option, but as you'll find out when you see how I train the skills going forward, I'm not the smartest person out there, so I'll probably make some stupid decisions, and I will make some of you question if I even know what I'm doing. But I assure you, I've been playing this game for almost 20 years, and I do in fact have absolutely no idea what I'm doing at all times. I hope you'll stick around and watch as I tackle the game in a way it was never really meant to be played. If you could leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel, it would help out a ton. And if you have any suggestions for how I could speed up my grinds, any weird training methods for the skills I believe to be locked out of, or want to tell me why not starting with agility will slow me down in the long run, please let me know in the comments section down below. I'll see you all in the next video, where I will, hopefully, get the first 99 of the account.